Henshin Inspection presents Going Ultra. This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Join me as I talk about Ultraman Blazar episode 16. This one is called Terror from the Underground. I liked a lot of the direction in this episode. The scope of the holes was really cool. We got to see multiple people, like even like construction toys type stuff, dump truck dumping dirt into the hole at the end of the episode. But in the beginning of the episode, we saw the guys in front of this massive crater, the workers, and then we saw Scarred in front of the massive crater. We get to see them from, they were, the hole was in the background, they were in the middle ground, and there was a little bit of stuff, the camera was in the foreground, so to speak, I would say. And we got to see that shot, and then we saw a reverse of that shot, which looked really cool. And I think it's in my thumbnail, I'm pretty sure. And it's looking at them from below, inside of the hole, and then it zooms, the camera pans back, and you get to see them from there. And then it gets better. That shot switches to night, and you get to see the sliver of the moon, the new moon, or the waxing moon, I should say. And yeah, it goes to that. It goes to day without them there, and then it goes to night, I believe, because they're doing their stakeout for Mogusion. And speaking of Mogusion, oh, hold on, one more thing. The perspective shots were really cool. While Mogusion flashed and activated the amygdala, I think, to create a fear response in some of Scarred. We got to see the bug that Henri hates. We got to see Yasunobu, alien Cannan, like came up and rose and gestured or whatever aggressively, and he was scared of that. And anyway, the shots were from down below, and you got to see the things rising above, and that was really cool and really well done. And of course, it's Ultraman; they do kaiju stuff all the time. Of course, they would do that well, but just it was remarkable. I feel like it was remarkable to go ahead and mention that because it looks so good. Moving on, Mogusion's design is so cool. He's a weird mole guy, and I like that he's a mole who causes confusion, which is where I think Mogusion comes from, but I don't know for sure. I really think the design is cool. Even though he's got these big digging claw hands, it was cool that they show the other hands inside of it, and they mentioned that there's fingers there. But what's really cool is that the person in the suit is wearing pink gloves, and then there's other fingers in there that are full of cotton or something, and they wiggle around while it's doing its flashy thing out of its palms. And I thought that was really cool. I don't know if its palms were supposed to be like human hand palms, but it's like a double hand type of thing, like a 10-fingered hand or what. But that's effectively what it looked like, and it looked pretty cool. And it did a pretty decent job tricking the eye. I had to look really closely to see what was going on, but and those pink little fingers looked gross. They look kind of like a mole's nose, so they have that 5 or 6 pointed star nose thing that I personally think looks kind of nasty, even though it's a creature, so I should be pleased with it. But yeah, I can still be grossed out and appreciate them and their creation. But anyway, yeah, so that was freaky, and I liked it. I mean, it was good. It was good, gross, good, freaky, and it was effective. Okay, so this whole Attack of the 50-meter woman thing was weird. Why does Emmy fear herself? It doesn't get explained. She says it's a secret at the end of the episode, and we don't really get anything on it. She's like a genius. She got out of MIT early. The only thing I can think is maybe Emmy fears herself because of things she's done in the past in her capacity as like a spy, or I don't know, maybe as a spy, she's been willing to do things that she regrets and that she's ashamed of. And kind of like Natasha or Natalia. What do they call, anyway, Black Widow in the MCU? I think they call her Natasha and Natalia, but I don't want to get into that right now. But she did really bad things when she was a bad guy before she came over to the good side, I guess. Anyway, so maybe it's a similar vibe. Maybe it's something similar that she's done terrible things in the name of fighting kaiju, I guess. I don't know what things she would do. I mean, other than the fact that they're killing kaiju, killing living beings, in order to protect, more lives, which we've talked about a lot. So I don't want to bring it up again. Yeah, I'm curious if it has to do with the end game of the show, if it has to do with her father and the research that he did on her, or not on her, but the research that he was doing that she was looking into. I don't really know, but it is strange. It's interesting. It was really cool to see kaiju-sized Emmy though fighting Blazar. That was really neat and a lot of fun. And I think she gave a great physical performance. She did that other fight in and Thus Fought Emmy. She did a great job with her, martial arts stunts in there. And here we could see her like, it was like wrestling, like a chair, hitting Ultraman with it and just bashing him around and stuff. That was a lot of fun. So speaking of the fight, I liked and I thought it was really cool that Blazar immediately pulled out the rainbow slash and he threw it, but the mole caught it and spun it around like he was catching a hula hoop, and he threw it back and it sliced through two buildings. And I liked the suit acting that Blazar did. That is it Hayoshi? I think it's Hoyoshi. Anyway, the Blazar and Ultraman, maybe Reiwa Ultraman suit actor, he did a really great job, like feeling panicked and expressing that, like, oh no, I inadvertently helped cut down these buildings because the enemy took my weapon and turned it against them. And what am I going to do? How can I fix this? I can't fix it. I got to fight this guy. So that was really cool. And I couldn't tell, like, is that Blazar or is that Gento or is it both of them? I don't really know, but it was cool. And then I thought it was funny that, we got this going on and it showed that Blazar has no eyelids. But then again, at some point, the light in his eyes goes off. It's him showing him closing his eyes. And I feel like I recently saw that. I don't think it was in Zet that he closed his eyes. Blazar. I don't know. Maybe my kids were watching this episode of Blazar like months ago and I walked by and saw it, and it was like, oh, interesting. He closes his eyes by turning the lights off in his eyes, or, the effect is to take the eyes of the suit and de-illuminate them or whatever, turn the light off to them. And maybe it was just this, but I feel like I've seen it in at least one other Ultraman show where they did that trick to have him shut his eyes by closing the light or turning the light off in the mask. And I think it's a cool detail. I think it's kind of fun, but it just seems kind of odd that he didn't do that before on his own, But there was a point where Haruki and Zet were fighting somebody that they couldn't look at, or like he had to close his eyes because he couldn't see him, and he kind of did the same thing where he was like waiting and prepping himself for the attack and then boom, striking, But anyway, I thought that was a lot of fun. Okay, and while I did like this episode a lot, and there was a lot of cool stuff going on, the Tilsonite sword, I really felt like I was watching a toy commercial. There was a few shots where it was just like boom, boom, boom. Look how cool this toy is. 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 Slash, stab. Oh, like, it was a little much. It was a little much. And yeah, I was shocked by that. I was really shocked by that. I don't know. It didn't really take away from my enjoyment. I mean, it nicked a little. It took like 5% of my enjoyment away, but I still really liked the episode, and I liked all the stuff with Emmy, or not all the stuff, but like the one thing with Emmy that we didn't really get an understanding of, and like it was cute that Yasunobu was upset that he didn't get to talk to Earthy first, and like he doesn't know that the others are all going to know that Earthy is Earthy because Earthy's going to announce himself like that because he has no shame and wouldn't think it's bad to announce that to the others. So that's going to be, I hope that's a cute moment we get to see in the next episode. It would be a lot of fun. And then Gento fearing, failing a mission. That's cool. That makes sense. It's like simple and direct, but it's simple and clean. And I like it. So that's all I have to say. Tell me your thoughts about the episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What didn't you get? Or was the toy addictness like perfect for you? Or did that take you out of it at all? And what do you think Emmy's secret is? If you are watching the show along with me, if you know already, you can spoil it if you want to, but okay. Until next time, folks, take care and be Ultra. I hope you enjoyed that. Subscribe to keep up with me. Like and share to help me reach more people like you. And go to mjmunoz.com to find your next favorite thing. And don't forget to let your voice be heard. Stories are always better when you're part of the conversation. Until next time, be well. This is MJ signing out. This has been a Story Over Everything production.